Folks, fam, friends, what's going on? What's going on? How we feeling? How we feeling? How we feeling? Yeah. We're back. Welcome to Beat Block episode 60. My name is Gene Flo. If this is your first time tuning in, welcome. If you've been following us since the beginning, salute. Shout out to the Beat Block alumni pulling up every single episode. I see you, we see you, we appreciate you. Thank you. Tonight's a special episode. We aren't going to be creating so much, but we are going to be creating a vibe. We're going to be doing a listening session. Back in October, the team dropped a body of work by the name The Grateful Flow. And tonight, I thought we'd give it its just due and just create a space, have a good vibe, and listen from top to bottom. I'll stop throughout, give you some comments on just thoughts that while we're listening might pop up in my head, and I'll just give you guys what I'm thinking. Maybe it's what I added to the beat, something that got thrown in last minute, stuff like that. We're going to have some fun with this. Shout out to Anthony Brito in the building. Yeah. We're just getting our sage on right now, cleansing the space. Gonna have a nice vibe. Gonna chill. Create a good energy around us. Because life is lifing right now, guys. I'm not gonna lie. Life is lifing. But it's cool. Every new experience is an opportunity. And right now is an opportunity for me to join you guys in connecting with the music, I wanted to give this project a little bit more just due, give it its proper space, and share it with you guys tonight. So I appreciate everybody who's tuning in. This beat what you're hearing right now is a beat we made last episode, Beat Block 59, and the beat you heard prior to this in the intro was also another beat we made from last episode as well. So run those back. If you guys are wondering what happens with these beats that we've been making on the show, a lot of them are being cooked up for some possible Invisible Poncho's music in the future. You might have heard it here first, but you might have unofficially not have heard it here first. And then there's other stuff that's going to be used. Maybe we'll make a compilation and drop another beat tape. Speaking of beat tapes, if this is your first time hearing about The Grateful Flow, this is a instrumental compilation. Let me turn this down a bit. I feel like I'm trying to beat the beat. Ooh, let's calm down. Ooh. Yes, this Grateful Flow is a compilation of instrumentals, and it's a beautiful soundscape. It's a journey. It's a journey of self-reflection. It's a journey of open-mindedness. It's a journey of discovery. It's a journey of getting lost a little bit. Speaking of getting lost, this is a perfect time to mention the Lost in California tour. Next stop, Oceanside, this Friday, which will be May 31st, which is, if you're watching this live, tomorrow. Come through. The Lost in California stops in Oceanside at Rose Kitchen. Let me make sure I'm giving all the correct information here. We're going off the cuff. This is the Life is Life in episode. You are watching this live. We're prepping this live. We're running this live. And we're going to be doing this together. So, yes, this Friday. Let me run it back. Rosewood Kitchen, Oceanside, California, 608 Mission Avenue. Pull up. We're going to have a whole lot of music in store. Moody, Eugene O'Neill, The Dark Room, Xenaloa, O-Side Lens, myself and Kill C-Ray, The Invisible Ponchos, and Rick Scales and DJ Root. So it's going to be a good time. Free entry before 9, so pull up. $7 after 9, and it's all ages, so pull up with the fam. Pull up with whoever. Just pull up. You know what I mean? So that's going down Friday night, and then Saturday night, Lost in California goes right to Ontario, California, where you get the same cast of characters. Moody, Eugene O'Neill, Dark Room, Xenaloa, and The Invisible Ponchos with Rick Scales and DJ Root with some special guests. So pull up to Ontario. That's going to be Saturday, June 1st, 8 p.m. Firewater Bar, $10, 21 and up. This is not a family event. 21 and up, 21 and up, 21 and up. Very important. So pull up to Oceanside if you want to come through, if you got the littles, if you got the fam, wife and kids, co-workers, whatever. All of them. Come through. All welcome. All right. As far as housekeeping, and then I think it's safe to say I can announce it here. The Invisible Ponchos alongside Platform Collection are putting together, and alongside La Mexicana Events. Again, let me pull this up and we're gonna give everybody their just due. Invisible Ponchos, La Mexicana Events at the Mercadito de Aztlán and Balboa Park at the Centro Cultural. Pull that back. At the Centro Cultural de la Raza, 2004 Park Boulevard, San Diego, California. Pull up Saturday, June 8th. Invisible Ponchos presents The Up, featuring Sham Black, 3D, Kendall Carter, RM the Poet, Dahomey Beats, and Wavy. It's going to be live hip-hop, beat sets, open mic, vendors, and food. All ages, family event, day party, 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. So, open mic. Open mic's going to be cool. So, I'm looking forward to that. We need to bring back the open mic. Yeah. So, that's the housekeeping. Let's see, am I missing anything? Check out the vlog. We got the vlog, episode 4. See us behind the scenes. See us on the road. See us doing what we do. And when we're not in front of the camera doing a podcast or not on stage performing music, you get to see a lot of what we're doing. Yeah. So that's the housekeeping. Also, we have an audio podcast experience called Do You Feel Better? Which is a kind of a guys talk situation, you know what I mean? Where it's the boys and we're talking about situational life stuff. We're being open-minded. We're being vulnerable. We're sharing with ourselves, but then we're also sharing with the audience. So hopefully to connect with you guys, because everyday situations where you're not alone. So that's that. And we got some interviews coming up. You didn't hear this again. We got some interviews coming out soon on that show. It's called Do You Feel Better? It's called Do You Feel Better? Catch it on Spotify and run that. So go feel better if you're not. And if you're feeling great, feel great. And spread that love, because that's the human way. And remember, never stop creating.
And you know that's right.
Let's go. This is the Beat Block, episode 60. The Grateful for Listening Party. Kick back, grab a drink, grab a snack. If you're wearing headphones, if you're bumping speakers, driving down the street, shout out to the LA Leakers. My name is Gene Flo, Beat Block 60, Grateful Flow Listening Party. We should just go ahead and get right into it, shall we? I think we shall. Ladies and gentlemen, Boys and girls. Let me go ahead and pull this up for y'all. We're gonna do a little something different here. Got the sage one out, or we will relight the sage. But let's go ahead and pull this up here. All right, so the Grateful Flow, like I mentioned, we released back in October. I believe it was October 7th, if I'm correct. And it's a beautiful piece of art from beginning to end. It's taking you on a journey, and to bring us into this journey, this is kind of like the thesis track, the intro track, track 1. This is called The Process.
And it was, you couldn't see shit. You know, it was one of those overcast days. My father was like talking to me about some of this stuff. And he said, don't worry, we'll get above this and the sun will be out. I just couldn't believe it. I thought, what are you crazy? How could the sun still be up there when it's so dense and I'm seeing all these clouds? And then I remember the exact moment the sun broke through the cloud. And I was so amazed. It's like the whole model of the universe became different, because the importance of it was I was no longer judging the nature of reality by my experiences in the last 5 minutes. The sun is always up there. The cloud is always over here blocking the sun. If you can't break through, you think it's a very bad day. In fact, you think it's a very bad life. Every thought you have is going to affect your mood. Every thought you have is going to be either positive or negative. So the Grateful Flow wants to choose the positives. Part X wants you to have the negative thoughts, so it'll create the cloud up there so you can't see the sun. You forget that it's actually sunny up there. The question becomes, how do you penetrate the cloud? And the answer is with gratefulness. It gives you the sensation, the feeling that there's always something up there positive, even if you can't see it at all. But you have to have a mechanism. That's where the tool comes in. The Grateful Flow is not the things you're grateful for. The Grateful Flow is the process of creating these things. So close your eyes.
All right, so that was the intro to the Grateful Flow. And to give you guys some context, that voice is from the documentary called Stutz, a docu-film called Stutz, Stutz. On Netflix, and it's Jonah Hill, who made a movie alongside his therapist by the name of Phil Stutz, hence the name Stutz on the film. And it's a really cool film. It's kind of a very vulnerable film for all parties involved, really. And it just kind of shows you a side of Jonah Hill's personal life with his connection with his therapist. But that piece from that movie, Pablo Station, what up, brother? That piece from that movie really stood out to me, and it allowed me to think about clarity, think about reacting, think about long-term versus short-term, micro, macro, what have you. Good days, bad days, peaks and valleys, you know what I'm saying? So I thought opening up this project, this journey, because the titles too have kind of a play on, it has intention on the direction of like the journey of this record. So the beginning is the process, because it is the process. It's not necessarily at this point having the gratitude, right? This is like the story, not having the gratitude at this moment, but it's the journey towards creating those tools. So by that, at the end, there's just like a lot of gratitude, thankfulness, love, and but there's ups and downs along the way. So yeah, that was the process. Let's go ahead and get the track 2. Oh, I was gonna say also, and I'm gonna move forward. We'll play this a couple times actually. I really like the piano. Here, let's start it over again.
And it was, you couldn't see shit. You know, it was one of those overcast days. My father was like talking to me about some of this stuff. And he said, don't worry, we'll get above this and the sun will be out. I just couldn't believe it. I thought, what are you crazy? How could the sun still be up there when it's so dense and I'm seeing all these clouds?
And it has a lot to do with faith. You know what I mean? Believing in an outcome, believing in yourself, believing in the process, believing in the path. You know what I'm saying? It has a lot to do with belief and faith. But this really, like, you heard the pianos in the beginning. That's kind of how this all started. It was just like a piano riff. And I knew I didn't want to do any drums. I wanted it to be a little cinematic, dramatic, and just allow the clip from the podcast to be the running mate on this thing. So we'll go ahead and keep playing.
And then I remember the exact moment the sun broke through the cloud. And I was so amazed. It's like the whole model of the universe became different because the importance of it was I was no longer judging the nature of reality by my experiences in the last 5 minutes.
I just want to pause right there. It was an interesting time creating this. You know, I knew I was trying to do the most with those two instruments to kind of create a feel along the words that were going on throughout the clip, and playing with that. I knew I wasn't going to have any drums. There's no percussion. So it's something new for me because usually I'm always playing with drums. I'm always playing with percussion. I'm always playing with rhythm. And this was a good opportunity for me to kind of just tap into like really, really, really cool parts of me to like bring out that I've realized I kind of was keeping dormant. And I think the emotion from my idea came out pretty good from what happened with the outcome.
The sun is always up there. The cloud is always over here blocking the sun. If you can't break through, you think it's a very bad day. In fact, you think it's a very bad life. Every thought you have is going to affect your mood. Every thought you have is going to be either positive or negative. So the grateful flow wants to choose the positives. Part X wants you to have the negative thoughts. So it'll create the cloud up there so you can't see the sun. You forget that it's actually sunny up there. The question becomes, how do you penetrate the cloud? And the answer is with gratefulness. It gives you the sensation, the feeling that there's always something up there positive, even if you can't see it at all. But you have to have a mechanism. That's where the tool comes in. The grateful flow is not the things you're grateful for. The grateful flow is the process of creating these things. So close your eyes.
All right. So that was the process. If you're just joining us, we're just at the intro track. We're just at track number 1. That was the process. We ran it back again. Just getting this kicked off on our journey here on the Grateful Flow. And it was perfect. You know, the idea of his being the Grateful Flow seemed like a perfect launching pad and connection tie-in to this whole thing. we're going to go ahead and move on to, and if you guys have any questions throughout this whole thing, please feel free to join in the chat. Drop any questions, comments. We'll definitely get at you. We're going to go ahead and set up track number 2 here. All right, this next one is called Sound Generator. So if you heard the end of the first track, it kind of stops, and then you hear a click, which is a tape recorder that I recorded to kind of signify that I'm starting up something, starting up the sound, starting up the music, what have you. Let me go ahead and just make this a little bit smaller here. There we go. Track 2, sound generator. Move this a little bit over here too as well. Cool. So yeah, you hear the tape recorder starting, and then there's a transition into the next track, which is sound generator. Let's load up the 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 sound Okay. Now it's a party. Now it's a party. That was track 2, Sound Generator. I wanted to go ahead and kick this off with some high energy, kind of the ignition. The intro, the process is like the thesis, the syllabus, the summary, what have you, the back of the book. And then Sound Generator is kind of the official get-go. Let's go, get out the box, get out the gates, what have you, and turn up. So right off the bat, you hear just a crazy heavy synth. So that's actually my voice that I tweaked out, put some effects on, and chopped up just to kind of fit it to the beat. And it's saying, let's load up the sound generator. I've had to find the key. Let's load up the sound generator. Something like that, you know? And then freaked it out, and that's what you hear to start the beat. Oh. As you can hear, it's kind of like has this vinyl startup, which is transitioning from the intro that has the tape startup. So if you listen and connect them together, it's supposed to kind of flow into the next track. And then that groove, though, I had to drop an undeniable groove, something to move to, a nice hi-hat rhythm. So this is kind of like, right here's no bass except that big boom, and then the change up, the bass line. And I was definitely tapping into like early Timbaland inspirations, you know what I mean? Early Justin Timberlake, Pharrell collaborations, kind of like that, you know, two-step vibe, something you can play at the party one time. And then we were back, you know what I mean? But this is the one that you start the party with. You get the energy going, you set the mood. And I like the big synth stab with the reverb. Kind of adds to the cinematic from the intro to the second track. So we're carrying over some theme here from track to track. And we're back to the chorus. Threw in those synth stabs to add some change up in the chorus part. It's the sound of the generator starting. The sound generator. Wow. Let's go. So now we're off on the journey. Now it's started. We're out in the woods. This is like the thought process I had, like story-wise, right? Look at the cover of the album. Let me pull up the cover here one time. Yeah, let's pull up the cover. All right. Hold it. Copy. Nope. Copy. Give me 1 sec, y'all. One sec. Tap this in here. Bring this over. How's everybody doing? Everybody tuning in? You guys feeling good? Yeah. If you're just getting started with us, just joining us, welcome to the Beat Block. This is episode 60. The Beat Block. The Grateful Flow listening session. Just kick back, relax. We're on track number 3. We're about to have a nice little journey here. You haven't missed a thing. You're just right on time. trying to get us a oops. Okay. Oops, that's not the right thing that I needed. Let's do this. One sec, guys. One sec. We're doing this in real time here. Okay, what I wanted to do is creating. This is what I wanted. We're adding this in real time. We're adding this in real time. Okay. Let's bring this down. Bring this over here. And we'll make this full screen. Can we make it full screen? And I want to take the transparency or opacity, excuse me, up. There we go. All right, so here we go. We have the cover here on the bottom left. We'll leave that there, and let's see if we can. Nope. I'm trying to make this thing just go full screen, but I think that's where we're going to get right now. All right. So we have the cover here. So picture the cover. Now you can see the cover. It's image of a man walking on a path, and the darkness of the clouds as portrayed in the intro is opening up and showing the self, the person on the path, that on the other side of the darkness in the light is still you. You just got to keep pushing through, push through the darkness, push through the hard times, push through the valleys to get to the peaks. And this is what the Grateful Flow is all about. Keep going, keep moving. There's going to be some dark days. There's going to be some dark times, especially right before your greatest breakthrough. So with that being said, let's keep that up. Okay. We're going to do this. Bring this over here. All right. With that being said, we're going to go into track number 3. This one's called Get Lost.
The beat block.
All right. That was track number 3. That one was called Get Lost. So we started the process. We hit the sound generator. We started it up. We got real out of the gates. You know what I mean? We needed that high energy. And the beginning of... We gotta stop. This camera's funny. This camera's like an auto tracking camera. And it has a hand gesture. So if you like put a 5 up, it will lock the camera, which I'm trying to have because I'm not really doing too much moving. But sometimes I'll throw up a 5 and mistakenly move the camera. What was I saying? But yeah, to start any kind of self-awareness journey, this is my experience. Maybe I can't say the words I think you should or I think it requires, but what happened for me to begin my kind of process to where I am now, mentally, spiritually, what have you, I had to get lost. You know what I mean? Or you know what? I didn't even have to. I was lost. That's the acknowledgement. That's the correlation. That's the admission, right? You have to kind of admit you are lost to accept the fact that you can change your path or to go towards a path of getting better. You know, I say like my path to solace is in the lessening, the lowering of like poor decision making, right? But that is in like knowing the right and wrong, good and bad. So anyways, that was Get Lost. And so that kind of kicks off the journey here. It's one of my favorite tracks. It's, if you notice the big change from track 2, high energy out the gates, big vibes, to this where it's like a little bit more subdued. It still kind of has some pick up on the drums and the tambourine, what have you, give you some rhythm. You can still groove to this. This whole thing you can really just put in the car, put in the ride, put on some headphones if you're doing workouts, if you're doing some studying, if you need to meditate. This is really one of those. But yeah, you're getting lost in that. It starts out with, let's go ahead and run it back. Go ahead and run it back. Can I get a control of this cursor here, this mouse? Here we go. Let's run it back. Shout out to, let's see, here we go. Shout out Karen Zaragoza in the building. Gotta lose your mind to find your peace of mind. Woo! Bar. Hold up. Where am I? We gotta pause that. We gotta pause that. Did you hear that? Folks, friends. We got our first gem of the night from the track. Karen says, gotta lose your mind to find your peace of mind.
And you know that's right.
And you know that's right. Yeah. Let's run that one. Let's get lost. Run it back. So right off the bat, you can hear this like dreamy synth pad thing going on with really big reverb, spacey vibes, disorientating. I mean, it's peaceful, but it's signifying like psych. Here we go again with the high five. Watch, the camera's gonna move. Gotta stop it. All right, so see, this one has like a cool groove getting this started with like some tom drums and snare, kick, tom drums and snare, and then we have like more percussion with the hi-hats. With a little so we have a groove, right? You're chilling, and mentally Also, this kind of has a double meaning, multi-layered. Getting lost too could be like, you know, when you're having a long day and you just need to have that nice, relaxing after-work smoke to put you at ease and close your eyes, lay back, and have a meditation. Yeah, this is one's gonna do that to you. Right here, I like this chorus part. It gets you with more kind of a, I don't want to say Afro beat, but more kind of like almost like a Latin swing to it. You know what I mean? And then we bring this has a lot of different change ups. What I wanted to do on this album was, hold on, let me pause. I'm not trying to fight the music. Let me pause. What I was trying to do a lot on this record too was not give you guys loops that, for example, you know, you have your intro, then a verse part, then a chorus part, then back to that same verse part, back to that chorus. You know what I mean? Kind of just copy paste the whole thing through. I wanted to take you through. This was an instrumental art piece, and I wanted it to showcase talent, but also showcase a journey through audio frequencies, because frequencies are spells. You know what I'm saying? You go to a low frequency in music, it's a low frequency in like a feeling, right? There's literally a thing called the brown note that is like such a low frequency that it makes you release on yourself. You know what I'm saying? But then there's high frequencies, and you get to like 700 kilohertz, you know what I mean? Or 7 kilohertz, excuse me. 215K, high frequencies, hi-hats, crash cymbals, things that are bright, right? High frequency, bright representing higher notes, higher frequencies. Words, things that you say out loud, that you speak out loud, definitely have a reaction. And it sticks to things that are porous, right? It sticks to things. It does affect things that it can attract energy. Us humans, we attract a lot of energy. We absorb a lot of energy. You can be in a room with no one speaking and feel the energy in the room. That's real. But yeah, here I go getting lost in my thoughts. But yeah, the change-ups, a lot of change-ups, a lot of layers. I wanted the music to be flexible and new to the ear, right? Because if you did hear like that same loop back, the ear would be like, oh, okay, maybe press next. It's just doing the same thing. It wouldn't be attractive. It wouldn't connect. So that's why there's a lot of different change-ups, different sections in the song. Sound similar. They all connect. They're sharing the same kind of progression, keys, what have you. But the change-ups in arrangement. There you go. That's the one. Now we brought in the tambourine. I really like the synth line that comes in here next on this next section. Oh, that was at the back section. Here, I'm going to show you my favorite part of this beat. There's a part that has this, I like this little key lick, this key line that, whoo, to me, oh my God, you hear that? Let's run that back. Let's go. Whew. Into the chorus. All right, and then the ends, right? It kind of ends with like, where am I? Right? It kind of ends with, what's the scenario? Kind of ends with, right? I'll paint a picture, right? Let's paint a picture. Sound generator was the rocket doing this, right? Getting lost was kind of the breaking through the atmosphere, right? Then you can start to see darkness. You can kind of start to see what appears to be the earth, like, right? All the, everything, right? Outer space. Now we're kind of lost, right? That's where we get lost. And then this next one, track 4, we're now on track 4. And once you get lost, you kind of feel like you're in the stars, right? So now we're in the stars. This is track 4, Grateful Flow, In the Stars. All right. That was track 4 here on the Grateful Flow. And here we are on the journey. We blasted off. We got lost. Now we're in the stars. Now, what do you do when you're in the stars? You just explore. Now we're really deep in it. This is the part where you kind of reach into the darkest spaces, but you find the joy, you find the acceptance in things that you can let go that are in the back, right? Because again, we're going this way, and then you see back all the things that are like being left behind. And I gotta pause this. And we're We're moving forward. We're searching, right? This is the search. This is the journey, right? Like Karen said, got to lose your mind to find your peace of mind. And you got to cut. You got to cut, because as you go on your journey, as you take off, there's a lot of stuff that are like coattailing you, right? That are trying to hold on, trying to like keep you from not advancing forward. They want to pull you down. You know, the old saying of misery loves company, right? So those that are hurt people. And those that fly a coop, right? Those that kind of break from being in a pack to kind of going off on their own. Sometimes, most of the times, not getting to get a lot of support from the pack, because the pack wants you to be in the pack, right? Come on, be in the pack, be in the pack. And sometimes going off on your journey, getting lost, is a solo journey. It's just a solo journey, but it's very rewarding. I will say that, because why? When you become, not when you become, let's say when you go off on the journey and you start to kind of get experience points, start to get chips on the shoulder, start to build calluses, right? Start to build the strength. I said this earlier, you become a pillar, right? You become a pillar, you become a vessel for then to like pass on that information to those that might be, well, you will, that's the crazy thing, is like when you get the information, when you get that responsibility, the duty, you attract people who are hungry, right? You attract people who are searching for an answer of some sort, right? A direction. Really, like the start of all of it is just finding a direction, because a lot of people are lost. Track 3, right? Get lost. A lot of people are lost. Oh man, someone who's not lost right now is our guys over at the Beatcast, because they're here with us tonight. Shout out to the Beatcast. Caw-caw! The Beatcast Beatcocks in the building.
And you know that's right.
Yeah. So as I was saying, you become a pillar, you become a vessel to help people, you know? One thing I have learned, though, in that process is, like, you get this new information, you get this new you get this new badge, almost, this new, like, you feel good, right? And when you feel good and you learn something new, you want to go out there and you want to tell everybody, you want to share it with everybody, you want to give it. But something that I've learned recently is, like, the trick is to know when and where to give it, right? And like cut back on the unsolicited opinions or like suggestions. At least that's me. I'm sharing my experience, right? This could be different for everybody, but something I've learned, because maybe I'm not that's the thing. We've talked about this with the boys, you know what I mean? Maybe not landing it well because I'm getting new information and I want to share it, and maybe it's like it's just not landing the way it could be more impactful. So yeah, anyway, I'm getting too far off. Not too far off, but we're going to get back. We'll connect the story. But yeah, we're in the stars. For those just tuning in, we started off with the process when we went to the sound generator. We took the launch. We started to get lost. We hit the parachute. Now we're on track 4. Now we're getting the jetpack. Sorry, I said the parachute. I meant the jetpack. Now we're exploring the stars. We're exploring this new space. And it feels good. So we're going to run back in the stars again. It feels like, the door to the shuttle has opened. Now it's time to take a step out and do more exploring. We kept this record very jazz-centric, soul-centric, heavy jazz inspirations. Two constant inspirations that were playing during the creation of this record were Kiefer, who's a dope jazz piano player and producer, instrumentalist, artist, all around. Very dope, very cool. If you haven't, go check out Kiefer, Kiefer. Check out all his records. Dude don't miss. He does not miss. So there's a lot of Kiefer that is inspired on this record, and also Black Milk. I almost said one of our Beat Block alumni is Black Chalk, but Black Milk, his latest record, let me pull it up here. I forget the title of the record. But this specific record from Black Milk, and a lot of just Kiefer all around, but this one, let me see, Black Milk. It's his latest record he just dropped too. Everybody Good. It was called Everybody Good. Go check that out. Black Milk. That heavy inspiration during the creating process of this record. And Kiefer, we'll go ahead and continue. Let's go. Right, this is like the zero gravity. Oh, it feels good out here. What is this feeling, right? It feels free. Once you admit you're lost, once you admit you're looking for something, you feel free. It's a freeing feeling to be looking for something new after you've shed some stuff off your shoulders. Yeah, that one is in the stars. This effect makes me go, oh, what's that one show? Lost in the Cosmos or some shit like that. That's what this was. Lost in the Cosmos. But yeah, that was in the stars. All right. So you felt that zero G, right? Zero G, zero gravity, right? You're just floating in space, enjoying this new space. By the way, you can download and listen to this album anytime you'd like over at theinvisibleponchos.bandcamp.com. Is it on Spotify? I know we just put it on Bandcamp. I'm not sure if we actually ended up doing. I mean, let's the real. Hey, this is the life in episode, so we're doing all this. You're joining me here. Oh yeah, we got the Grateful Flow on Spotify. Okay, so yeah, wherever you wanna stream this record, go anywhere. It's all up on there. Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, Deezer, Amazon Music. I'm going to stop because we're not sponsored, and I'm over here shouting out all kinds of brands, giving them shine. Shit. All right, let's take back to the music, huh? But yeah, I like that one. I like the guitar power chord. And the Rhodes, kind of continual Rhodes progression that's going on there. This one had some real mellow drums, actually, when was going into sequencing. and we had a listening session within the team. And I went back and I was like, I gotta get these drums, different swing, more energy, because they were a little boring. Let's just call it a spade, right? They were a little boring. Wanted to give it a little bit more shaka, and some more knock and more snap. You know what I mean? So the drums were probably like the last thing I worked on this beat. And it's cool. It's got a good place in the record, right? It's starting to get some layers now. We're on track number 5. So after getting lost, going out there, we launched. We got the floating feeling. It's time to take a little break. Track 5. This one's called A Minor Break. This is Beat Block episode 60. Grateful Flow listening session. I appreciate you, every one of you tuning in with us. All love.
And you know that's right.
Yes. That was track number 5. And we had to take ourselves a little break. This track is play on words. It's called A Minor Break because this track is in A minor. So kind of slide that one in there. Shout out to the beef. But shout out to love. It says it right here, okay? I always think about this scene in Semi-Pro, which was a movie 10 years ago, maybe more probably. And there was a scene, and he was like, "Everybody love everybody." I was just like, kind of clicked on me. I was like, yeah, everybody love everybody. That's why I like to always say, spread love. That's the human way. And we got love right here. Love's in the room in many ways, the one. And speaking of love, shout out to my brother Christopher Reyes in hold up. In the building.
You know that's right.
Let's go. So yeah, we took a little bit of a minor break. So if you're just tuning in with us, we had track number 1, which was the process, which is the thesis, kind of the explanation of what's going to culminate going forward. It's the journey to find tools, right? The journey to find tools towards self-betterment, to self-awareness journey, right? Elevation of self, feeling lost, maybe going on a new path. And so we had the process. Then we blasted off the rocket out to outer space with Sound Generator, track number 2. And then we had number 3. After we broke through the atmosphere, we got into space. We got lost, right? We start to get lost, which is also admittal, right? You have to admit to start the journey. You have to admit you're a little bit lost. You're searching for something, right? We have to shed that. We have to open that layer. We are lost. We're looking. We're searching. So we get lost a little bit. Now, once we're up in the space, 0G, we crack the door open. We got our suit on. We jump out. Oof, we have this floating sensation, right? Track number 4, we're in the stars. So then we just journey. We're swimming. We see that. Oh, hey. Oh, we see that. Experience here. We experience this. We experience that. Get hit by a couple meteors, right? Push us back a little bit. We keep going. Persevere. Boom, boom, boom. Push through. And then all that's kind of like gets taxing a little bit because it's new. It's fresh. It's an experience that is giving you questions, right? Trying to look for some answers again. And so you need a break. So that was A minor break. We'll go ahead and run that back again. Track number 5, A minor break. Again, we're keeping with the jazz theme here, the soul, jazz, lo-fi kind of vibes, consistent along this record from top to bottom. Right, and this track really was just going to be this. And then we were listening to it and we're like, okay, let's add something to it. Let's carry it through, right? Because it was, let me pause. So this, when I remember playing this, in the studio session for this record, and it was like 30 seconds. And everyone was so mad, like, bro, why is that so short? What's up with that? So it was just kind of a thing that I had as an interlude track and didn't have much structure to it. But everyone was like, no, it's got to be bigger. It's got to be bigger. It's got to be extended. It's got to bring it home a little bit, as we like to say in house. Bring it home. And so you hear in the beginning when the drums drop, you hear a little bit of the shaker, right? And it's just mostly bass with some keys, right? But then the change up happens, right? Right, the synth comes in, a little funky synth. Go high now. Woo! We're just carrying the synth. We're walking it. Right? Walking the dog with this synth right here. Ooh, and then we dropped some of those. Oh, yeah. The do-do-do-do. Hey. And then the end. It's like, okay, we're getting ready to end the break. And then along the journey, right, there's peaks and valleys. But within those peaks and valleys, a lot of times in the valleys, it's peaceful. In the peaks, it's peaceful, right? It's peaceful. There's not a lot of mess. It's very organized. But down in the valleys, when you're kind of digging yourself out of the mud, you kind of almost find yourself there because there's a lot of distractions. So next track 6, called Distractions, represents a lot of the distractions along the journey. Sometimes it's self-sabotage, and other times it's external things coming across. But with all that, you have to, again, here you go with the have to. Even those little things, it's like unsolicited advice, right? Like I was saying earlier. But what works for me is to just attack them head on, have extreme ownership. If it's all my fault. Like I heard Gary Vee say this. If you guys don't know Gary Vee, influencer, investor. He says like it's all me, right? Good or bad, it's all me. Extreme ownership, it's all me. It was my fault. Yep. Did I do it? No, but is it my fault? Cool. So extreme ownership gets you through a lot of the mud, but this one is representing that mud. This is the distractions. That sage pop. That sage pop. That sage pop. We got the sage burning. The energy's flowing. You guys are amazing. Appreciate you everyone for tuning in. Man. Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. This is the Grateful Flow listening session, Beat Block episode 60. Just a moment of silence for the gratitude right now. Just gratitude. Yeah. That was, speaking of gratitude, that was track 6, Distractions. And I'm grateful for distractions. I'm grateful for the leaps and bounds. I'm grateful for the hurdles. I'm grateful for the, having to drop down and crawl through the mud and get around the obstacles, all that, all the journey, all this. Anything that can get in my way, feel free. You know what I mean? Because at this point, like, I'll figure a way to get through. And not just like get through, but get through impactful. Get through with purpose. Get through and give through, right? You get through and then you share. You get through and you share how you did it, how the experiences that you came across. Not everyone's going to have the same experiences as you. So that's why I mentioned earlier that I kind of learned for me that, not everyone's on the same journey. Not everyone's on the same path. So sometimes your dump of like, hey, my experience might not resonate to many, but it also may resonate to others that, it's kind of, I always say like things are kind of, it could be not 50-50, but for me to kind of rationalize it for me when I talk about experiences, like you're going to relate to 50%, you're not going to relate to 50%. Now, could it be other, tweaking the numbers here and there? Sure. But for me to just say, you know what, there might be 50 of you out there that might like it, and there might be 50 of you that might not like it, or might not resonate, or might not relate, and that's okay too, I'm not here to convert, but I'm also not here to deny. So, like, if anybody wants to come through, have any questions, may not, like, have the same understanding and wants to have a conversation, I'm open to that too. We can talk about many perspectives, you know, because that's the great part about this place that we're in, is that many people have different experiences, different perspectives. And sometimes it's good to just stop and listen. But then there's times that you get distracted, you get lost, you get kind of caught up in like a lot of negative energy, and sometimes that might that does draw you in, right? That does draw you in when there's a lot of stress or stuff that is like agitating or like messing up your flow. It does kind of bring you in like a turtle and kind of is like, okay, what do I gotta do for me? Sometimes you don't make the best decisions in hindsight, but then you do make it through. Sometimes I think about it. It's like, how do I make it through some situations? How do we make it through some situations? Sometimes in hindsight, you can piece it together down the road, but immediately you just might not even know that you're making it. I mean, you are making it through, but you don't know how big of a leap you're taking or how big of a thing that you are breaking through. So that's actually pretty cool too. So always kind of, you know, count your P's and Q's, have some gratitude. We'll run back distractions here. I like this big kind of, it gets orchestral here with the strings. The drums are kind of, I was kind of going for like a poppy dance vibe thing here to keep some energy going back up after taking that break. And these strings kind of create a mood of like, and to me the frequency hits like you're trying to dance by yourself and like somebody's trying to kind of come up to you and kill your groove. That's what hence like the distractions, right? It's like, I just got to do me right now. I got to do me. I got to break away. I got to do me. So let's run this back. Track 6 again, distractions. This is a Grateful Flow listening party. I appreciate you guys. I love all you guys. Let's go. Like, leave me alone. I'm in my groove. You know what I mean? Push off the distractions right here. Whew. And this is like, sometimes you let your guard down. And people try to always sneak in when you let your guard down, right? Not people. Let's say like, oh, people, places, things, circumstances, energies. But then you just get back on your feet. Push them away, and then you prepare them to say, hey, not today, distractions, right? Then we have the drums slowly panning back in. So up to track 6, you can kind of see the theme we're going here with. Soulful, jazzy, groovy, movie. How we do the oh so smoothly. Let's keep the vibe. Let's go. That's right. Kill C Ray with the drum emoji. Drums on drums on drums on drums on drums. Big focus on this record. We combed through a lot of the, I'll call them stage ones, right? Because there's many stages to the process of making this thing. There was kind of like the rough draft of the beats themselves. Then deciding kind of arrangement, track order, and then there was sequencing. But we always went back and we're like, no. Let's not leave kind of something that we wish we could have done. And after listening to it, right, I would go through. Oh, no. Let's go back. Let's go tweak this. Let's go to add this. Oh, it needs this little piece. Oh, it needs that. And when is something done? I guess you kind of have to decide when something's done. But there's a feeling, and you know, kind of when you hit that, like the chest across the ribbon when you get the race. It's like that's that feeling when the zeros hit the clock. That's that feeling. But yeah, we focused a lot on the drums on this one. Sonically, right? The timbre, as they like to say, like the sound of the hits, right? The frequency, some hit deeper, some have like hollow sound, some have hit a little higher sound, right? All right, so another we're kind of sitting in the valleys right now of the album. This is the valley of the album. It kind of goes the distractions, and another big word during this journey, during my personal journey of self-discovery, self-awareness, and then this process of making this record is resistance, right? Got introduced to the book The War of Art a long time ago, but didn't really dive into it until probably like 2 years ago to last year, right? I was just like running back the audio. I was listening to it, the audiobook, and I kind of understood now the connection to feelings that I would have but not know why I'm feeling this way, or like why am I procrastinating so much. Like I would know, like, oh man, I'm procrastinating, I'm pushing things off, I'll do it later, last minute. Oh, there's a deadline. Oh, I'll knock it out tonight. And then the word resistance came across me, and then this book came across, and it was like, yo, all these things are like things that are happening in my life, things that I'm doing right now to myself, self-sabotage, all these things, right? Decision making. And so this next track represents kind of like that pit feeling of like, knowing right. This is like the beginning of knowing right and wrong. And like, okay, I don't want to make any more decisions. And why am I making these decisions? Oh, it's resistance. That's the root of it. Now we got to get to the cause, like, of why we're keeping going on. You know, what do we got to do to change it? So this is track 7. This is Resistance.
and bringing them back. Never criticize somebody in public. Give constructive advice in private. Always praise them for the best that you see in them. That'll elevate everyone. I believe psilocybin is the molecule that can create the paradigm in consciousness and helps.
All right. That was track 7. That was Resistance. That was, the transition from taking a little bit of a dive into the pits, into the mud, into the hurdles, the distractions, the resistance, but pushing through it, right? Getting through it, getting to the other side of it, right? And that clip at the end, if there was one thing I can say about this track, in hindsight, I would have brought that clip up more. But in my head, I was thinking about a vision. Ooh, we're zoomed in. Let's go back. I was thinking of like me sitting on a couch or something, or on a TV, watching this clip that's playing in the audio form, right? So I was trying to like put it so like you're what's the word I'm looking for? You perceive it like far away from being like, see, so I was doing all this stuff in my head like visually and trying to translate it into an audio track, and I was jumping ahead. I was kind of almost editing for the music video instead of making it for the record. So that was the one thing where I was like, okay, because it is kind of low at the end of the clip and you can't hear too much until the beat like drops out. But at the end, he talks about how psilocybin mushrooms, magic mushrooms, can basically be a catalyst to save a lot of the problems and save a lot of issues internally with that people go through when it comes to the self, the ego, right? And it kind of transitions into the next track, because we kind of dubbed the next track kind of like a trippy track, like the spacey track. But let's go ahead and stay on this one here for a sec before we get too far forward. That one was track 7. That was Resistance. This is probably one of my favorite tracks creatively, because I really felt like the things that were added is what I liked a lot. Again, these were kind of multi-stage compositions, multi-stage progressions in these tracks to kind of get to where they were at the final stage. The drum programming, speaking of drums, we were talking on the last one, the drum programming on this one is really cool. A different swing than like what we traditionally would have put out. Different programming, sequencing of the drums. But again, more snap, cool swing. And the combination of like, there's a lot of organ piano combination going on that is kind of emitting the emotion that's going on here. So we'll go ahead and just run this back. That was track 7. Again, this is Resistance. change up kind of sounds like it's going from resistance to resilience, you know what I mean? It's kind of like a triumphant vibe. Victory, you know, getting through to the other side.
If someone goes astray, reaching out your arm and kindness and bringing them back. Never criticize somebody in public. Give constructive advice in private. Always praise them.
All right, we're gonna break this down part by part.
Reaching out your arm.
I'm gonna break it down to what he says.
If someone goes astray, reaching out your arm and kindness and bringing them back.
It says when someone goes astray, reaching out your arm with kindness and bringing them back.
Never criticize somebody in public.
Never criticize somebody in public.
Give constructive advice in private.
And constructive advice in private.
Always praise them for the best that you see in them.
Always praise them in the best that you see in them.
That'll elevate everyone.
That'll elevate everyone.
I believe psilocybin is a molecule that can create the paradigm in consciousness.
He said, I believe that psilocybin is the molecule. Run that back.
The paradigm in consciousness. Constructive advice in private.
I think
Always praise them.
he said the psilocybin is the molecule.
I believe psilocybin
is the molecule
is a molecule that can create the paradigm in consciousness.
that can create the paradigm in consciousness and help save the world. Oof, let that sink in a little bit, huh? Be good to your neighbors, be good to your family, be good to your friends, be good to those around you. Be good to people, man. And if you haven't experimented with psilocybin, definitely give it a shot. Do your research, you know what I mean? Start small. But there's definitely something cool on the other side of that, so you just got to give it your all. Give it a puncher's chance, you know? So after you get through the downfalls, right? After you go through the mud, now we're kind of transitioning back. We took the psilocybin, right? We're going up, kind of curve. We're seeing the little, the transition going back up, going back up, going back up. And we have track 8. This one's called Get Back. Appropriately, we're going to get ourselves back, right? We blasted off. We got lost. We took a break. Then some distractions came. We had some resistance. We had to break through some resistance. And now we're back. We got to get ourselves back. This is track 8. Get Back. You're listening to the Grateful Flow listening session. Beat Block episode 60. Peace and love to everybody out there. Love y'all. Drop it. Let's go. We're getting back. We're getting right. This that feel good music. Connect to your soul. This outro. So all right. That was track number 8. That was Get Back. And we're getting back on track, right? We're going back towards the peak. And that opens it up for me to want to say, like, when you're at a peak, right? When you're at your highest highs, when it feels good, enjoy it. Don't take it for granted. Because at any moment, something can come through, knock you off your track. The rug can come from the wall, the floor can come out from under you, and you're down again, right? But the inverse is true as well. When you're down, don't dwell so much. Don't dwell at all, really. If you know you're at a downfall, ride the wave, right? Go. If you know you're in a downfall, the first thing you should do is immediately start turning towards a solution. Start turning towards a way that you can get yourself back to the up, right? Because it's just a pendulum, right? It's just a pendulum. And so sometimes you're doing this, sometimes you're doing this, sometimes you're doing this, sometimes you're doing this. I remember hearing a good friend of the team, the family's, Noah James, a long time ago. I caught him say something like, those L's, they're not losses, right? Those L's, those are lessons. So anytime you have a muddy situation, anytime you're feeling low, it's not a loss, right? It's a lesson. We said that in the beginning of the show tonight, that it's opportunities, right? The universe makes no mistakes, just opportunities. And track 8 was an opportunity for us to get back. I really like this one. Probably my favorite thing going on in the whole album is the flute that happens on this record. It's probably like, whew, when the flute drops in this thing, I don't know how to describe the feeling. It's free. It's freedom. It's expression. It's like I want to stand on a mountaintop and scream with love and joy, not scream with like frustration, right? I don't want to scream out of frustration. I want to scream out of triumph. So let's go ahead and run back, Get Back. This is track number 8. Get Back, the Grateful Flow. Appreciate you guys. Let's keep running it. So good. Before I do anything else, I have to salute the general in the building. OG Hip Hop Eddie, let's go.
You know that's right.
Yes, sir. OG Hip Hop Eddie is in the building, y'all. Oh. All right. Yeah, man. So that was Get Back, track 8. Like I said, my favorite thing is that flute. When that flute comes in, it's a very triumphant feeling. It makes me feel like after working out, that feeling you get, it's like that mix of that cortisol, serotonin dip. You know what I mean? Little cortisol, little serotonin, little dopamine. You know what I mean? That's what this track is. It's kind of how you feel after, you take a gram of psilocybin to get you to this place. And then all of a sudden, 30 minutes later, you're feeling like a new man or woman or, yeah. Where we at? Let's do a recap, huh? For those just tuning in with us, welcome. And shout out to everybody who's been riding with us since the beginning, man. Thank you. We had the intro, the process. We had sound generator. We had get lost. We started going up. Then we got in the stars. We started floating away. We started exploring. We started feeling new things. We started seeing new things. We started to understand. This is really this part where you start to understand concepts, right? And then the stars. And then it can be heavy, so you need a break. So you take a minor break. But then there's distractions. There's a little bit of a lull, because after you have a big dopamine rush, serotonin rush, you kind of have this dip. So there's a little bit of a dip. Then you feel resistance. Then you're trying to wonder why I'm not being productive, why this is happening. I was doing so good. I was on path. And sometimes you just get knocked off your rocker a little bit. You know what I mean? But you get back on, baby. You just get back on. You ride up on that mechanical bull and you just hold on for, what you need to do. But you just ride it and just ride it and ride it. And then all of a sudden, you're getting right back. And that's where we are right now. We're getting right back. We're on track 8, get back. And after you go through a little bit of a skip, after you have an experience, right? Let's use a very common experience for some people, just for context, right? You go and you party. And you might have a little bit consumed too much alcohol, right? We've all done it. And the next morning you wake up and you're like, oh man, how did I give, I'm sure we've all had those how did I get here moments. Literally physically, how did I get here? You wake up and you're like, how did I get here? Or man, what did I say? What did I do, right? You have this reflective period. And a lot of times once you get through stuff, once you get over the hump, that's pretty much what hindsight is, what you're doing when you reference hindsight. Oh, in hindsight, when you're looking back, you're reflective. But also, when you shine bright, you're reflective, right? When you're in a good space, your vibe is reflective, right? I heard somebody say this the other day, to be the soul in the room. And when you're the soul in the room, you're reflective, right? So this next track number 9, is called Reflections. So let's go ahead and drop into track number 9. Reflections, right here. The Grateful Flo listening session, Beat Block, episode 60. Let's go.
Work hard.
Listen.
Be somebody. Be something more than what you see in the mirror. Let the world be your mirror. Let them judge you. Because the mirror can't judge you. You judge what you see in the mirror.
If you're not on your feet by now, your legs don't work. Let's groove. The party's at a good place right now. This is that everybody's feeling good in the building vibe. Look in that mirror and say, "Whoo, you look good" vibe right here. This is where that I love me starts to settle in on the journey. You know what I mean? This is where it starts to get introduced, I shall say. I love me. It feels good when you start to introduce a little bit of I love me, don't you think? Accept everything about yourself. All right, that was track number 9. That was Reflections. Like a reflection of yourself, looking into the mirror, accepting everything, all of it, the depths, the shallows, the rights, the wrongs, the goods, the bads, the experiences, the journeys, and the future, you know? The shortcomings, the micro, the macro, you know what I'm saying? This is that acceptance speech at the, you know, at your own graduation party. You're the valedictorian, you're the class clown, you're the jock, you're the girl sitting at the hillside tree underneath the shade, drawing, listening to Soundgarden. You know, you're all of those things. We're all those things. But we're us. You know what I'm saying? So you got to love you. Look in the mirror. Be somebody. Be yourself. That's who you should be. Let's run it back for context. Let's run the intro for context. For those who didn't recognize the voice, that is the voice of one Lil Wayne. So let's hear what Lil Wayne has to say again.
Work hard.
Work hard.
Be somebody.
Be somebody.
And be something more than what you see in the mirror.
Be something more than what you see in the mirror.
Let the world be your mirror.
Let the world be your mirror.
Don't let them judge you.
Don't let them judge
The
you.
mirror can't judge you.
Because the mirror can't judge
what you see
you.
in the mirror. Let the world be your mirror.
Let the world be your mirror.
Don't let them judge you. Because the mirror can't judge you. You judge what you see in the mirror.
You judge what you see in the mirror. Those are some powerful words. Because we do self-sabotage a lot. And left to your own devices, you know, they say that the idle mind is a devil's playground. So if you're sulking and you're diving into your own thoughts a lot, and you have the habit of sulking or allowing yourself to go into those holes, let me tell you now, you have permission to break all those traumas, all those connections to that thought of negativity. You're allowed to feel positive. You're allowed to feel happy for yourself. You're allowed to forgive yourself. Ooh, big one. Forgive yourself. Forgive yourself. Forgive yourself. To allow yourself to see the abundance in this life. You know what I mean? You are light. You are power. You can connect with a lot of people. A lot of people share things that you share. And it's crazy. The more you talk with other people, you find out we have more in common than we do have different. So go ahead, like he said, be the reflection. Let the world be your mirror. Don't judge yourself. Hold yourself up. Others are going to see that. And you're going to be a pillar. You're going to have such a fruitful life. Ooh, track 9, Reflections, everybody. Let's go.
And you know that's right.
And you know that's right. Man, we're in track 9, and it makes me feel like...
Looks like it's gonna be a great day today.
Right? It's been a beautiful day. It's been a beautiful journey with you guys here, having this experience, really sitting down with this and having these thoughts in real time. I didn't come into this saying like, oh, I'm going to talk about these tracks like this and whatnot. I just wanted to kind of sit here with you guys, listen to it, vibe out in a new perspective, kind of reflect, no pun intended, on the record and the journey from its inception to creation, to release, to then it living out there, connecting with all you guys out there. The feedback's been beautiful. Another reminder, you guys can go listen to this anywhere you guys stream music. Spotify, Apple, other companies we're not associated with, so we're not going to free advertise. But anywhere you stream. The Camp of Bands. We have a Camp of Band page. TheInvisiblePonchos.bandcamp.com. Go ahead and support us directly. If you want to support us directly, I'll throw this out there. TheInvisiblePonchos.bandcamp.com. We'll put that out there. Go there. Right? Stream for the convenience. Support us through the Bandcamp page. Options, baby. Options. All right. So now we're reflecting. And we've had a really fun journey, right? We've gotten out, we've gotten down, we've gotten up. This is a really cool exercise in like understanding life, right? And knowing that you're, as much as you want to have like this positive, only positive, nothing's going to penetrate me. Oh, it's going to be great. My life's great. Sometimes I know we have to put that mask on, We have to put that mask on and tell us everything's great. But, we have moments. We have moments, and it's okay. That's part of being honest. It's like you got to share the truth to get the right direction, the right answers, the right reaction, right? I always say ask the right question, get the right answer. There's no dumb question, but you can definitely like specify your search. On like a computer, you have search filters, and you can really like break it down. If you break it down, really, you sit with it and you're honest, you can really break things down fractionally to where like you don't have to go through all the mess. I mean, you still have to go through some mess. Life is messy. But you know what? It's at your own time. It's at your own pace. This is your journey. You guys, we're here together experiencing, and I'm sharing my perspective and my journey through and with this music and with these tracks and what these titles mean to me along this journey. But I hope it finds you guys well, and you guys have interpret it how you see fit for your apply it to your life, apply it to your journey. And if it resonates, I'm love that. And if it doesn't, hopefully you can share this with somebody that maybe that could resonate with. Everybody just needs a little bit of time, right? Let's move on to track 10. Track 10, this is called Time. I just need a little bit of time. all I need is time. Woo. Before we go any further, let me go ahead and make a big shout out to Damian Romagnoli. Shout out my vecino all the way out in Argentina. What's up, brother? How you doing? ¿Cómo estás? Thank you for being here. It's probably like 5 in the morning, 4 in the morning, 3 in the morning, maybe, over there in Argentina. Nah, wait, hold up. Yeah, something like that, right? 2 in the morning. It's late. Anywho, my man's Damian pulled up to say what's up and show him love. Let's show him love in the chat, man. Damian, appreciate you, man. So that was track 10. That was Time. Like it says in the sample of the track. All I need is time. All I need is time. Sometimes all we need is a little bit of time, right? I've always been under the moniker of like work smart, not hard. In the respect of, you know yourself, pace yourself. Of course, there's things that you need to pick up and like knock out with. I never use this word right. Is it make haste? Like to make sure like you do it in a hurry, make haste. But then there's other times that you want to take your time. You want to craft. You want to think things through. You want to make logical assertions without making unhinged reactions, right? So in this journey, if people try to tell you like, oh, come on, get it together. Oh, hey, hasn't it been so long since this and this and that? Can't you get better? Can't you get right? They will. We will. I will. You will. But sometimes it just takes a little bit of time. And this beat's very straightforward, kind of a no frills sample-based beat. Kind of just driving it home. You know what I mean? We're on the tail end. We've had this journey. And now it's the time to be okay with ourselves taking time. Society has a stronghold on time right now, especially with like social media, like fast, speed's the name of the game. Let's go. But let me tell you, if you're in your teens, if you're in your 20s, if you're in your 30s, and if you're in your 40s, there's difference, everyone's on a different spectrum of time. But that group right there, you all can make pivots anytime right there and still be okay. Don't be afraid to start something new. Don't be afraid in general, right? Do our best to omit fear from our lives. Approach most things with a clairvoyant mind. And, splash in a little bit of intuitiveness. Let your gut be your guide, right? They say your gut is your second brain. It talks. for sure. It lets you know when something's off. It thanks you when you feed it something delicious and nutritious. Good for you, some powerful stuff. So it talks to you. Pay attention, right? Pay attention to the signs. So we'll go ahead and run this back. This is Time. All I Need Is Time. Track 10. The Grateful Flow. We're wrapping up soon. We're reaching the end. It's been a cool journey, man. Let's go. Track 10. Time. Let's go. All I need is time. All I need is time. All I need is time. Ain't that the truth? Sometimes all we need is time. You guys ever see that that meme where on the top it's a guy who's digging a hole in a cave setting, right? And on the bottom it's just another guy who's digging the same hole, same direction, right? He's going towards the same direction, and at the end they both have diamonds representing the end goal. And one guy is like one swing away of the axe getting to the diamond, and he turns around because he's like giving up, right? He feels like he's out of time. And on the guy on the top, who's a little further back, but it just keeps on going, keeps on going, keeps on going. And I always think about that. I always think about that meme. And it kind of got brought up in my life recently, talking about like perseverance. And yeah, I would think back and be like, yeah, I guess how did I get through things? You know what I mean? And I think I was just had the faith and the belief, and I just knew like one day, one time, one day. I've always said, like, for many, many years, you know what I'm saying? I would always say, like, you know, it may not happen today. It may not happen tomorrow. It may not happen next week, next month, next year. You know, it may take 5 years, may take 10 years for something to brew. If you're trying to like work towards a business, work towards a career, work towards a path of any kind, that takes independency and like DIY drive. It could suck, you know. Some get lucky, boom, overnight. Not overnight success, but you know what I mean. Like some people strike something, it adds up, and boom, they, you know, opportunity meets preparation, and they go. And others are tinkerers, you know. And I think I put myself in that box of like tinkering, because a lot of the now is moving so much faster than then I should say, the past. And in the past I would always say like, oh, I'll take care of it later, 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 you know. And I just kept pushing because I just felt like I'll feel it, you know. I'll feel like when the time is the time. And I just recently felt like the guy who's at like one swing away, but I feel like I feel it. Like I feel like empowered. Almost like I could feel the whatever's on that other couple side of the swings is like telling me like, come on, keep going. Like I feel like it's just a couple swings away. I feel like we're a couple swings away from really making like a big breakthrough, big impact. You know what I mean? And I think that's the inspiration that keeps me keep going. You know what I mean? To keep pushing, because I believe in me, I believe in myself, I believe in my team, and that faith is the, you know, there's a reggae group goes by the name Twinkle Brothers. They have a song called "Faith Can Move Mountains," and I got introduced to that song when I was like 16 or 15, right? But I'll never forget it because it's true. You know, faith can move mountains. I'm not like an organized religion person per se, but I'm spiritually inclined to believe that there is a higher power. There's a universe out there that is listening, right? Watching, reflecting. More on that a little bit. Let's get back to the music. That was Time, track 10. We're going to move on to our next track. Because when you tell yourself that you can give yourself a little bit of time, it gives you time to get right. So if you paid attention to the track titles, I said the track titles kind of give you a connection throughout, the kind of slaloms through this whole thing. So we had Sound Generator, then we Get Lost, then we had In the Stars, A Minor Break, Distraction, Resistance, then after that we Get Back, then we have Time to Reflect, Reflections, then we have to accept that we have time. When you have time, when you have all those things, when you're in that good space, when the self-confidence is there, the self-sabotage is gone, it's time to get right. Folks, fan friends, this is track 11. We're nearing the end. The vibes have been right all night. High frequencies. Let's keep it going. This is track 11. This is called Get Right. This is the Invisible Ponchos presents the Grateful Flow listening session. Beat Block episode 60. Let's go. That's that Get Right anthem right there. That one was track 11. That one was called Get Right. Man, that kind of transition, that ding, 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 right? Victory. The Victory Lap. This is the Victory Lap track. Kill C. Ray dubbed this the Victory Lap. This is the triumph. This is that overcoming. This is that getting on the other side. Yeah. You got to dig yourself out of the mud sometimes, you know. But it's all worth it when you get to the other end and you find a resolve, right? The destination, there might not be like a destination on the journey, right? For example, it's a continual growth. It's a continual thing. Once you decide, like, I know, or I don't want to say, be more specific. If, like, the mind starts to close, I'm closed-minded. Okay, don't tell me. I don't want to learn. I don't want to, you know, I got it from here kind of thing, right? Then, like, the decline, actually, that's like the start of the decline, because you're not being willing to keep feeding the beast. You know what I mean? You got to keep feeding the beast. You got to keep movement happening. You got to keep, I was thinking about this the other day, like, sometimes if you, how do I say this? I had a feeling of, we had this conversation in the studio of, sometimes you feel like you need to be challenged, or sometimes you have a challenge that you're adjusting to or adapting to. And other times you feel like stagnant and you're looking for something to stimulate. That's the word we're getting at. Stimulate. You always want to be stimulated, right? That keeps you going. It's kind of like the pads, they electroshock. They get you going. That's why it works. Well, fortunately, it doesn't work for some, but and that's just the facts. That's reality. But it's a metaphor to say, like, it's a shock. It's a pick me up. You got to keep picking yourself up. You know what I'm saying? And I know, like, it's hard sometimes to do it alone. That's why it's good to recognize that when there's people around you who want to kind of give you a helping hand a little bit, and that's okay. It's always okay. The only reason why it wouldn't be okay is because your ego is telling you it's not okay. But everybody knows that, you know, you got to kill that. Kill the ego, kill the pride. Be at peace. Be at peace. And that's how you get right. That's track 11. That's Get Right. I like the swing on the drums on this one. I really love the piano and the bass line. There's this slide, like a slide down on the bass line / like the sample on the transition of the change up on this beat that I really love. I'm really into the bass slides, like boom, boom. It helps the movement. It helps the movement of the rhythm connect to the next section, right? So let's go ahead and play it back. Again, this is track 11, Get Right. You're listening to the Invisible Ponchos presents the Grateful Flow listening session here on the Beat Block, episode 60. Let's go. Right off the bat, really, you hear that piano kind of like introduce it, but when it drops, to me, this feels like confidence, right? This feels like walking down the sidewalk, right? Like Michael Jackson on Billie Jean, and the squares are lighting up, shining bright for you. You know what I'm saying? Letting everybody know, like, this person's got it. You know, this person's walking a path. This person's doing the right thing. Mr. Virtuoso, you know what I mean? Mrs. Virtuoso, what have you. Apply it to yourself. Let's go. Right here, the bass slide. And then the bells come in. That slide kind of introduces something that's coming, right? It's anticipation. And the beautiful bells. Here we go with another slide. This change-up, this triumphant change-up, rise, 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 rise. I'm on the top, I'm on the top, I'm on the top. Let's go. Woo. That exhale after getting through some difficult times, right? That's a good feeling. And I hope that this album has done the same for you as it's done for me. Once I get to this point, it's kind of like that exhale of relief, that exhale of like, I did it, you know? That exhale of like, everything's gonna be okay, you know? It's gonna be alright. Whatever that outcome, it's gonna be alright. But how much did you expand through the journey? You know what I mean? Let's go. That bass line is funky, huh? Boom, bing, doo-dee-doo-dee. Boom, bing, doo-dee-doo-dee. Boom, doo-dee-doo-dee. Boom, bing, doo-dee-doo-dee. Boom. I can picture like someone on stage playing the bass. Just you've seen a bass player live on stage. He's got that funk face. Bass players are never looking out. Their eyes are always closed, feeling it. Right? And when that last note hits, doesn't it feel like an exhale? I'm saying though, so that exhale, we gotta exhale, exhale, exhale. And just know everything's gonna be alright. It's gonna be alright, like Bob Marley would say. It's gonna be alright. Alright. It's gonna be alright. That one, let me see. That one, again, it's those bass slides for me. The bass slides had a really cool transition. I love the piano. This one's kind of a no frills one. We had a little back-to-back no frills. Time and Get Right. The idea to put this one where it was felt good. It came, from the team. This one was in a different place at first. I think I kind of had this in the beginning, almost like a maybe track 2 or 3 to kind of be like an intro. But then it just felt right to kind of put it towards the end. And speaking of the end, folks, fam, friends, this has been a fun journey. Thank you for allowing me to join with you and listening to this and sharing a little bit of insight behind the creative process, behind the meanings to the songs, behind perspective that I have and how I feel about it in real time right now. Even from when this was released in October to now, there's been a lot of transition, there's been a lot of change, there's been a lot of cool stuff happening. Life is lifing right now. As I said earlier in the beginning of the show, life is lifing. But you just got to grab it by the horns. Just got to grab it by the horns and take the ride. Or jump on the board and ride the wave. Any kind of metaphor for you of riding something, riding and holding on, do that. Gave you 2 examples. Grab the bull by the horns or take that wave head on. You know what I'm saying? And if you're on the wave, make sure you get a barrel though. you got to get a barrel and get out of it and pull out. So, folks, fam, friends. I love saying folks, fam, friends. Folks, fam, friends. Because that goes out to all. It applies to all. My folks, those peeps. My fam, the close ones. And my friends. You know? Covering all the bases. You're all my friends. Everyone's my friends. That's the entry level. We can be friends. And then you can work your way up to fam. And then you can work your way up to folks. Well, maybe not folks, but, you know. Guys, we've reached the end. It's a special one. Because it's the only track that's not an instrumental. But it's instrumental to the completion of this record. I do want to give a very, very special shout out to one of our own, Mr. Parker Edison.
And you know that's right.
So this last track is titled Allow Me to Introduce Myself. The idea is to title it with the word intro on the outro. So I want to allow me to introduce myself. This whole project is kind of allowing me to introduce you guys to me and a little expansion of the team. This last track is called track 12. Well, it is track 12 called Allow Me to Introduce Myself, featuring Parker Edison.
Hey, check 1, 2. Is this mic on? What's good, right? It's good, right? I go in. Good morning. This is a platform collection moment. A beat block talking chop moment. A Meridian Arts moment. A Gene Flo, be grateful moment. Bang. Passionate, the latest fashion, yeah, we like the clashing it. Classic shit, straight up mashing it, like Billy dancing it. Hardcore through your ox cord, hella damage. Balancing like packing cannabis under a chandelier in Frisco. Playing hits, bro, by the fistful. Handle them, had them panicking up at the disco. Fish don't fry in the kitchen, man, listen. The beans don't burn, but the trees do. Gene, you killing them, fresh like milk top billing. Make me take a break from my vacation to come pencil this. Hey, I'm not even supposed to be here. Hey, Eddie, can you do me a favor and call me a Lyft, yeah? Nah, I don't rock with Uber. Yeah, Lyft, yes, thank you, appreciate it. Hey,
Let's wheel that up.
Hey, check 1, 2. Is this mic on? What's good, right? It's good, right? I go in. Good morning. This is a platform collection moment. A beat block talking chop moment. A Meridian Arts moment. A Gene Flo, be grateful moment. Bang. Passionate, the latest fashion, yeah, we like the clashing it. Classic shit, straight up mashing it, like Billy dancing it. Hardcore through your ox cord, hella damage. Balancing like packing cannabis under a chandelier in Frisco. Playing hits, bro, by the fistful. Handle them, had them panicking up at the disco. Fish don't fry in the kitchen, man, listen. The beans don't burn, but the trees do. Gene, you killing them, fresh like milk top billing. Make me take a break from my vacation to come pencil this. Hey, I'm not even supposed to be here. Hey, Eddie, can you do me a favor and call me a Lyft, yeah? Nah, I don't rock with Uber. Yeah, Lyft, yes, thank you, appreciate it.
Ladies and gentlemen, folks, fam, friends, people around the world, everybody who joined us in this beautiful experience, thank you very much. That has been a listening experience of The Invisible Ponchos presents The Grateful Flow. I hope you guys find this record well. If it treats you well, I appreciate you giving any kind of feedback. You know, reach out. Just let me know how it touched you in any way. And you can reach me at Gene_Flow Instagram, you can reach us out at Invisible Ponchos on Instagram. You can reach out to Platform Collection on Instagram. And you can reach out to my brother Kill C Ray at Kill C Ray on Instagram. And you can reach out to OG Hip Hop Eddie at OG Hip Hop Eddie on Instagram. Man, from track 1 to the process to track 12 to allow me to introduce myself, it has been a journey. We took off, we got lost, we got in the stars, we took a break, we had some resistance, we had some distractions, we got ourselves, back. We had to reflect. We need some time to get right. And then it's a beautiful thing. That's just the start, ladies and gentlemen. This isn't like a journey of like start to end. This is like a whole process of just getting started on the journey. Hence the album cover of just the man walking on a trail into the darkness, opening up and seeing yourself reflective. You know what I mean? Seeing yourself in a light, seeing yourself as the light, as they say. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Go download it, go listen to it. If you want to stream it wherever you listen to music. If you want to support us directly, you can go over to invisibleponchos.bandcamp.com, theinvisibleponchos.bandcamp.com, to support us directly. We really appreciate you for all the love you guys give us. We see you. Yeah, man. Quick housekeeping on the way out. Again, we got Oceanside coming up tomorrow evening. If you're watching us right now, Friday, May 31st, Oceanside at Rosewood Kitchen. Saturday, June 1st, Ontario at Firewater Bar. We'll see you guys there for the Lost in California tour wrap up. It's been fun. Shout out to my brothers Moody, Sinaloa, Eugene O'Neill, The Dark Room, Rick Scales, DJ Root, my brother Kill C Ray, OG Hip Hop Eddie. Man, we've been on a run. It's been fun. Parker Edison, I see you, man. I see you, bro. Yeah. Words with words. Yeah. All right, man, fam, folks, friends, we're going to go ahead and get on out of here. For everybody here at the Invisible Ponchos Platform Collection, the Beat Block, we appreciate your time. We appreciate you every time you join us. We'll tune in next time in 2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks. We'll be right here, banging out more beats, trying new things, bringing in some more people, maybe have some talks with some folks, and all those good things. Go out there, spread that love. That's the human way. And remember, never stop creating. I go by the name of Gene Flo. I am your friendly neighborhood poncho. This is the Beat Block. The Beat Block. Carry on. Be well. We'll see you next time. Peace.
And it was, you couldn't see shit. It was one of those overcast days. My father was like talking to me about some of this stuff. And he said, don't worry, we'll get above this and the sun will be out. I just couldn't believe it. I thought, what are you crazy? How could the sun still be up there when it's so dense and I'm seeing all these clouds? And then I remember the exact moment the sun broke through the cloud. And I was so amazed. It's like the whole model of the universe became different because the importance of it was I was no longer judging the nature of reality by my experiences in the last 5 minutes. The sun is always up there. The cloud is always over here blocking the sun. If you can't break through, you think it's a very bad day. In fact, you think it's a very bad life. Every thought you have is going to affect your mood. Every thought you have is going to be either positive or negative. So the grateful flow wants to choose the positives. Part X wants you to have the negative thoughts, so it'll create the cloud up there so you can't see the sun. You forget that it's actually sunny up there. The question becomes, how do you penetrate the cloud? And the answer is with gratefulness. It gives you the sensation, the feeling that there's always something up there positive, even if you can't see it at all. But you have to have a mechanism. That's where the tool comes in. The grateful flow is not the things you're grateful for. The grateful flow is the process of creating these things. So close your eyes.